I've been thinking about that chair ever since. Ever since they set up a date, I'm like, okay, so I'm going to be in space. Maybe I come early. Yeah, it's a good chair. We are a day away from 19-year rematch, pretty much, right?
19 sounds about right.
Yeah, I rewatched the Pulling John documentary. Did some videos just to refresh my memory on everything that happened. And for a fan, it's kind of nostalgic feeling. It's kind of weird, right? And I never expect Alexey. I told Alexey this. I never expected him to come back.
Right.
What's the feeling for you?
Same. I mean, I never expected him to ever see him again arm wrestling.
Yeah.
So super excited of that fact and the fact that I'm actually still arm wrestling at this age. So yeah, no, it's going to be good fun to see how we've progressed in 20 years.
So in a movie, like movies, so came out 2009, so it's 14 years ago pretty much,
Okay.
right? And then even then, like everyone knew you are the GOAT, and nothing has changed in 20 years, and you're still arm wrestling. And you were coming out of retirement then, and
Right.
you're coming kind of.
Right.
Now
I was actually retired when the Pulling John crew came around. I was like, you got the wrong guy. You need to talk to so and so or talk to somebody else, And I think I even dropped Travis's name, but it's like I'm pretty much done. I'm not, It was a time of my life that I thought about. Okay, I've had enough. And, but yeah, because of them, I continued for another.
You quit before, or?
But it was like a year before they had come around. I hadn't arm wrestled. I hadn't really pulled any tournaments. I had pretty much just kind of walked away from the sport.
Injuries or just
chronic elbow issues? Yeah, elbow issue. I broke my elbow at 13 years old.
Yeah.
And just throughout the years, I would have little flare-ups where I was arm wrestling on almost for a while there on a weekly
basis.
Almost tournament-wise. Every bi-weekly I was going somewhere in the United States to arm wrestle and of course occasionally international even. But I was arm wrestling just way too much, I think.
It's so interesting because you're like, and after that you had like one of the greatest runs ever, like a few years later, just slotty tour winner, just demolishing everyone.
Well, I wouldn't say I was demolishing everyone. I was very fortunate in a lot of the situations, came out on top just because of the way the overalls were. I was still light enough to cut weight to make. I was probably walking around at 220, so I could always cut weight to 209 and make the 95 kilo class. So things were a little easier down in that weight class.
Yeah, but you still have to go up and face.
Yeah, but by the time the Zloty tour was ended, I mean, a lot of those big guys, trashed each other around.
The thing is, John, we haven't seen it after. There's one guy from 95, that's Petrenko, that went up and won Zloty tour, right?
Oh, okay.
Just one guy.
Okay.
We haven't seen it since.
Oh, okay.
That's how it is.
Yeah, he won the overall?
I think he won.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I think he
really
won.
Cool.
Yeah.
No,
and
so
it's still. And you beat him.
Yeah, just barely.
Just barely.
Yeah. No, he's a tough competitor for sure. No, I think there's still guys out there in the 95 kilo class that could probably do what I did. If the field is well, the heavyweight field has gotten so massively big now. Back when I was pulling Zloty, there was 2, 3, 4 guys that were the top guys. Where if they clashed, they could burn each other out a little bit. But now it's so deep and so many big guys that it'd be probably hard for a 95 kilo guy to make that jump.
I think it is because but okay, John's too humble. No point of dwelling on that.
Right. But anyway.
Anyway, you saw Voevoda.
Yeah.
He's here. I talked with him, and he said what he kind of missed most about like his preparation. He said like when he was in his best shape ever, he was practicing every day,
right.
like every day. And he said he was working with weights, but he didn't get the table practice that much. You, on the other hand, had like you go to competitions as a practice, right? Seeing him. How do you feel about the match? How you feel about the chances?
He's obviously not as big as I remember him.
He's 14 kilos lighter.
He's lighter. So I was expecting the bigger, wider, thicker hand than my own.
Yeah.
Because that's just what I seem to remember when I pulled him back in 04. And just hand to hand, just shaking his hand and gripping up with him. I'm like, I can deal with this. This isn't so overwhelming. It's definitely not a Levon hand. So.
What's your weight now?
I'm probably a little over 105, 106.
Okay.
So
he's still like 5-6 kilos bigger than you.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, he looks in fantastic shape, which I knew he would be.
Yeah.
Super healthy, no aches and pains. I mean, still in the prime of his life at 40-ish, whatever he is. So I expect he was doing some like little. He said he had some nerves going on, so he was doing like his at the WAF where he's doing the little speed things. I'm like, dude, you got to be way slower than that. If you hit me like that, you're gonna spin me off the table.
He's like
he's such a fast twitch.
So fast, so
fast.
He even said he has like weird mutation in his body where he said like everything just works fast twitch. He said I can do everything and just do it really fast.
Yeah, no, he's like a cat.
Yeah, like a cat. What do you think? What's the plan to deal with that?
Well, I had a plan in my mind, thinking that to immobilize his strengths, which I don't normally like to go in the strap, but I was thinking strap would be probably my best chance to go directly to the straps. And lo and behold, this is going to be the first tournament in probably the super match and probably the last 10 super matches where we're not starting directly in the straps. We're gonna start without the straps. So we'll see how that goes. I'm excited to pull without the strap for once, finally. Well, I guess I've done it a few times at East versus West before we had to go with the strap. But yeah, I think I see myself maybe pulling him like Todd Hutchins pulled me. If I can just keep my knuckles high, I don't need to necessarily top roll him. I just need to put enough and keep his hand flat and keep enough back pressure on him to hopefully wear out his hand and forearm of side pressure. If his cup is overwhelming where he can turn me upright, I'm going to have to switch the matchup to maybe possibly trying to go in a hook or something like that. But I'm hoping my pronation will be able to at least stabilize it where I can fight. I don't see myself beating him to the punch. I don't see myself knocking him off center. I don't feel myself, which I haven't been able to do to anybody.
Taking control and then finding.
Taking control. Yeah. And I hate to do it, but I almost feel more comfortable going into a back pressure defensive position than trying to be aggressive, and take somebody out of position. The stability of my shoulder just isn't there enough to make me have the confidence to do that. So as everybody can see, I mean, the last probably 7 or 8 super matches, I've fallen into that and then hoped that my opponent made mistakes and wore out, and then I was able to transition into a shoulder roll from a dead wrist position, from them having a dead wrist. I don't see his wrist going back. I don't see myself top rolling him. I don't even feel like that's probably going to be something I'm going to go for. I'm hoping that his side pressure is not as strong as mine, where I can just even flat wristed out arm wrestle him, to the side a little bit. Yeah. It's gonna be a tough order, but I'm excited. I'm even more excited now. I was a little hesitant, but the more I've been around him and been here, the more confidence I'm getting. Like, I can do this. I mean, it's not out of the possibility. So.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear that you're confident. We talked in Turkey, and you were like, I will see how I feel. You look bigger coming in. You look more ready. I know you definitely did maybe 2 practices. I will not even ask.
Yeah, 2 practices since Hutchins, but Hutchins was a workload in itself. I needed an extra week to just recover from that. I mean, he definitely did some personal records on my arm as far as side pressures go. So it was a good tune-up leading into this. So yeah.
Yeah. And I'm really excited to see you're still active. You have already matches planned after this one. Those gonna come later. But Alexey, he hasn't competed in such a long time. You know the nerves, right? When you get on, when you haven't pulled, you don't know. Like feels like you know nothing.
Right.
Right. Everything, like you don't know. Can I do this or that? If you see some nerves, like he had in Tim Bresnan match,
right?
Will you play into it?
Yeah, no, it's been a really long time since I watched that match, but I played it last night just to see how
What happened?
He reacted to certain situations, and I think he's used to taking total control and speed pinning people. And once he got stopped by Tim, he just kind of fell apart. He didn't really have any transitions to any comfortable positions. He kind of stayed outside and continued to do. So it gave me hope. Like, oh, okay, if he's that same guy, I mean, I could maybe do what Tim did to him. But we'll see. I mean.
Yeah, because speed and endurance, like explosiveness and endurance, doesn't go together.
Doesn't normally last very long. You know, if you're a fast twitch guy, you go downhill quick.
Yeah, and we know you have that like one terrible sticky point.
Right.
Everyone, like you stop everyone there. Can you get out? That's the real question.
Right. And if he is someone that will panic and feels like he needs to continue to put pressure to finish the match, that might play into an advantage for me. I mean, if he would relax and think and did what Dennis did to me and just kind of fall back and actually match my back pressure and not worry about trying to control to the side, it might be another bad day for me, but we'll see how he reacts. If I can get it to that point. I mean, I'll be super excited if I can get it to that point. I'll be like, all right, this is cool.
I think he even said like when he was arm wrestling, a lot of people said, well, you won because you're faster, right?
Yeah.
So he's trying to be slower, and now he said, I have to lean into who I am. He said, I am a fast guy, I have to be fast.
No, if you can get the match over with quick, why not? Yeah, for sure, do that,
Yeah, I think that is the plan, and for years to ruin that plan.
Yeah, no, I'm going to have to just be tight. Like I said, if I can get... it's probably more dangerous being out of the straps and in the straps. I think I can kind of establish a little bit better a secure lock with the wrist in the straps, and I will be worrying about trying to beat him to the cup position. I would love to test his wrist and cup and top roll for top roll, but I am a little bit hesitant to do that because I think he might end up turning my hand over, where if I just turn outside hard, then we end up slipping and going to the strap. So that will probably be what I do. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. A few different factors depending on which side of the table I'm on. If I'm on the bad side of the strap table, I might take a chance. Like, okay, first round, I'm going to try to actually control the match and not just slip and go to the straps and just to see. You know, I got 4 rounds to figure it out, right?
4 rounds to figure it out. Yeah. It's I don't remember who I asked it. Maybe it was Krasimir. He said like, okay. Oh no, it was Christo. Christo said like, yeah, John's gonna be like, if something doesn't work, he will switch it up. He'll find a way if there's a way.
You know, I haven't been able to do that though, because it seems like every one of my super matches lately, we slip straps, but I'm so pumped that all my options that get thrown out of the window because I'm, in 90 seconds to get back up there again, you pretty much got to do the same thing you did the first time. I mean, people were criticizing me when I pulled Hutchins. Well, try to do this. Well, no, I mean, I had great position on him. Maybe I could have got him off center or hit out.
It feels like if you went this with him, he would just slide over.
That option's out the window after you've even just had a 15-20 second match where you're trying to struggle like that. The hand and forearm gets pumped, and you pretty much just got to fall back into the same routine. So it's not because I don't think about it. The few times I've actually thought about, even with Kurtagale, I think our final match, the 4th match, I try to come across and get him wrist to wrist, and it's numb by that time to be able to pull it off.
I think for someone right now with you, if someone comes in the hook with you, you will gladly go, right? But most of the time they're just pulling away. And this holds perfectly. Why not? Without your match, there's another match with another guy that's been pulling for what he said 43, 41 years from bat.
Right. Nomo
versus Matt Mask.
Yeah. Nomo. I don't know their history, but they both look extremely ready. Yeah.
Ron looks amazing.
Solid. Yeah. He looks very solid.
Yeah.
He says he's healed, injury-free, feels like a young man still. I'm like, damn, how do you...
He's a vampire.
For sure. I'm dealing with all kinds of arthritic issues, arthritis in the hand, the wrist, the shoulder. I don't know. I guess I haven't led as clean a life as he has.
He said he feels very... He feels that it should be a good match. It shouldn't be just a blowout. He feels like this should be, because him and Matt always found some kind of balance
Right.
in all of their matches, but they never faced each other fresh. And Matt just you witnessed the brutal
Right.
match versus Sergey.
Right.
And he said he still feels arms from it.
He feels a little sore from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if
Yeah.
you get maxed out like that, it takes a while for those tendons to finally heal up. I mean, months, not weeks.
We have to talk, because I think it's one of the matches that's been overlooked on this card, Matvei Orengi versus Lars Urbaken. You pulled Lars, right? I think many times, right?
Super crazy, powerful shoulder roller.
Yeah.
Dead wrist shoulder roller. Not quite the Jerry Caderet, but similar. Very similar.
Yeah. Have you pulled Matvei Orengi?
We've met one time when I was invited to the Australia back.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was 11, 12, 13 years ago. I don't know. I'd have to
Okay.
ask him. But he had just got into the sport of arm wrestling, and he was impressive even then. I was like, oh, you're going to do well in the future. You're a big boy.
Yeah.
He's hard to get a hold of. And even just watching how well he did against Todd Hutchins, it looks like he's got like a little bit of an outside King's move, and probably really difficult to get a hold of. But Lars, he's probably not going to care about that. I mean, he's going to just drive it in and get behind it.
Yeah.
So
it's an interesting card.
I would want to pick on that one.
yeah. There's a lot of great matches. King of Table, 8 September 23. So that's tomorrow. Link is in the description. Are you confident?
I am excited. I'm confident. I'll be super ready, pumped. I'm the last match, so having to watch these exciting 4 matches before me will definitely have the adrenaline at full bore. And I'm definitely excited to pull Alexey.
It's just like we never expected this. Never expected.
No.
Like great time for Armwrestling.
Yeah.
King of Table, buy the pay-per-view.